Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in crypto. If you like money in crypto, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you guys know, I can be in two places at once, if you're wondering. I see some of those comments. Guys, I've cloned myself. There's actually two of me out there, and people are very concerned. Let's just go ahead and just start off with this. Those Falcons looked terrible yesterday. The Eagles beat up on us pretty good. And I've been getting some flack from saying the Eagles are one of the worst teams in the NFL. I'll say this. That's what's so concerning for the Falcons yesterday, when I'm very confident we're one of the bottom three teams, or we are the bottom team in the NFL, because the Eagles are a bottom three team, and they beat the brakes off of us. So, yeah, Falcons number one pick next year. We're going to get a new quarterback. I'm done with Matt Ryan, done with Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank's the worst owner in sports. I'm just going to tell you that. He's terrible. So
that's good. Somebody said the Falcons are in a bear market. 100%.
They're in a bear market. Listen, the Falcons have now 3 times in a row got the exact same coach. Mike Smith, Dan Quinn, and this Arthur Smith guy, they're literally the exact same coach. I said Dan Quinn shaved his mustache and threw on a wig. That's what it looked like yesterday. Sounds the same. What a joke. Hire somebody different. Why do we hire the same idiots over and over again? So, look like the exact same team from last year and the year before. So, anyways. American football is just rugby with shoulder pads. Changed my mind. I think it's quite different, actually, if you watch rugby. So, yeah. So, anyways, just get that out of the way. Eagles fans, congratulations. You got one of your only 4 wins of the season yesterday. So, wow, look at this guy. This guy is just saying over and over again, lengthening cycles, diminishing returns. BitBoy is wrong. We'll see what happens. I don't think I'm going to be wrong, but it is what it is. All right, Rams Super Bowl champions calling it. I could certainly see that. Julio Jones only 3 catches for 20 yards yesterday. So let's move on to crypto. I mean, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Talking football this morning is a lot more fun than talking crypto this morning. Did you guys see that gigantic pump out of nowhere, followed by a gigantic dump out of nowhere?
Yep.
That was insane. We're going to talk about maybe why that happened with the Walmart and Litecoin news, or news. We'll cover it at the end of the stream. But the thing is, I was on the show with Jeb this morning, and the price jumped like $1,500 out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden it dumped $2,000 out of nowhere, and it's like, what is going on right now? We're seeing so much volatility. But we're still, the crazy thing is we're seeing that volatility within a very small range. Mm-hmm. Well, like over the weekend, TJ, how many times did you look at the price and it was 46,000?
Yeah, like 7 times. Every time I'd go to check and hope it would be something different, it was like, oh, exactly where it was last time I looked. But one thing that was interesting is some of the alts that were moving over the weekend, where Bitcoin wasn't. Some of these platforms, a lot of the ones we talk about on this channel, HBAR, I know, moved a decent amount. Algo had some movements. Cosmos, Atom, another big one that moved good over the weekend. So, that's something interesting at least, because Bitcoin was definitely boring.
Yeah. Well, the thing, I'll tell you what I noticed about Bitcoin. I did notice that about, obviously, over the long term of the weekend, it did seem like it was staying still. And it is amazing how still it sat. But there were 2 or 3 times over the weekend where I looked at the price and it was at 46,000. It was like, oh, good, we're on the way back up. And then an hour later, I would check, it was right back to 45.
Yeah.
46 to 45. So why is Cosmos pumping so hard? Well, it's that time in the cycle where it's time for Cosmos to pump. They're doing a little bit of marketing right now. They've got DeFi coming into play. I did a TV interview with them that'll be on NASDAQ TV and Bloomberg and Fox Business or Fox News. Stuff like that. Somebody did say that the Packers looked worse than the Falcons. The Packers look bad, but I would say the Saints are a much better team than the Eagles, it looks like. So, Throaty Cody coin. When's that coming out? Throaty Cody coin. The ticker is thick with 2 C's. Okay, Cosmos Games just tripled your funds. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Browns looked good yesterday. Disappointed that they lost, but let's jump into the markets, guys. We're coming in at 1.26 million subscribers here on YouTube, so thank you to everybody for subscribing. We had several videos doing very well this weekend. Don't forget to check out our deal section. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. But guys, coming in at Twitter at 537.2 thousand followers. I got more followers than Daniel Negreanu, I noticed today.
That's funny.
He's got to be the biggest poker account, right?
He's up there. I know him and Doug Polk talk on poker all the time. I feel like they're the two voices on Twitter.
141.8 thousand followers for him. So
yeah, Negreanu had how many?
Negreanu's got, I think, 494. I think.
What about?
I looked it up this morning.
What about Helmuth? Phil Helmuth, does he have a big?
494 for him. Helmuth. Let's see, Phil Helmuth.
I'm just trying to think of all the loudmouth is. I
wonder if it's like Poker Brat.
Yeah, probably.
No, I don't know if he's on. Is he on Twitter? He might not be. You think he is? He's got to be, right? I don't see him anywhere on here. So interesting stuff.
Well, there you go. So Negreanu must be.
Yeah, and I think Negreanu is number 1. So that's pretty crazy looking at our Twitter numbers and realizing that. But also, guys, look at these Twitter numbers. 10.7 thousand followers here. Maybe if somebody knows his Phil Helmuth's name on here, we can look it up. But let's see here. 10.7 thousand followers. And guys, I wanted to point out this tweet. Now, number 1, we do have a giveaway going on right now. So we will tweet that. But also be careful, Plutonians. There's already a fake website out. Minting begins on Wednesday, only mint from the official website. So you guys make sure to be careful. There's already people out there trying to scam as always. All right, here we go. Look at that. Wow. That sucks. Yeah. That don't feel great.
Back under 2.
Under $2 trillion right now. Volume 138 billion. This volume has jumped up 20 billion in the last 2 hours. Bitcoin dominance coming in at 41.5%. Ethereum dropping major, 18.7%. There must be some NFT going on because for 175 and a half, Paraguays, you can send an ETH transaction. That's high. We got Bitcoin coming in at 44,347. Ethereum at 3,200. Cardano. We're going to talk more about Cardano later. I'm going to talk about why Cardano has not pumped on the smart contract news. And it's going to go back to something that we talked about a while back, a couple months ago or a few months ago. So what happens there. Binance Coin back under 400. It was back over 500. Now it's under 400. XRP getting crushed. Maybe retesting the dollar level here soon. Solana also getting crushed. This could be the start of maybe a larger correction for it. We'll have to see, but it's down 12.27% as of now.
DOT had some good movement over the weekend.
Yeah, it's still just the good momentum is sitting still, basically. So, all right. So let's look at the biggest pumpers of the day. H-bar. What? Why did? That's not right. H-bar up 5.99%, but it's up 31% for the week. Cosmos up almost 14% today, almost 45% over the last week. Mina, whatever it is definitely moving up a little bit. We've seen consistent movement from it in the last week, up 25% over the week. Tezos having another good run here, up 3%, up 22% for the week. And then we get into stable coins. Let's look at the biggest losses. Let's do that. Biggest losses of the week. Ravane, after pumping forever, down almost 39%. eCash, which I think is the Bitcoin Cash ABC rebrand, 33%. ICP down 31%. Theta down 31%. Filecoin down 28%. 30% pretty much everywhere around the board. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin down 14% for the week. Biggest gainers for the week. We have Algorand, Elrond, Harmony, Cosmos, Near Protocol, HBAR. So a lot of projects that we really like are up. Avalanche still up 10% for the week. I explained in a video over the weekend why I thought that it definitely had a chance to continue running and continue doing well. Avalanche, a good pick for the rest of this bull run, I believe. So there you have it. There are the markets. We finished this a little early.
Yeah.
Go ahead and jump into Q&A.
Yeah, we can. Sure.
Right, yeah.
We went a little long on some of the intro stuff. So, yeah, let's start with It's Me, Scotty J. Assuming ADA tops out at $10, with how much is staked, will it still fall from 90-ish, or do you think it will hold better through the bear market? So basically, since so much is staked, do you think it'll have less of a correction during the bear market than we've seen in the past?
So look, what is less? I mean, Cardano corrected basically like 98%, I think, in the last bear market. So if it does 90-ish%, then that's still good. Obviously, when you are looking at coins that have a high amount staked, then, in theory, it should make the supply more valuable. However, what I'll say is it's still boiling down to the remaining supply that is circulating. How much are people buying or selling that for, right? So even though 71% is staked, that 29%, if people continue putting lower and lower buy orders in there, the price should continue to go down, or putting in, more sell orders to push the price down. You're still going to see that. So, I think Cardano, Ethereum, XRP, I think they could fare better than previous bear markets, but what really is 85% versus 95%? I mean, still, you're going to be getting a major hurting unless you buy high and sell low, or no, buy low and sell high. Excuse me. Don't do the opposite.
Yeah. Drew Foria, do you still think this bull run can't go into 2022, or that we will end before 2022?
Absolutely. We'll absolutely end before 2022. I mean, it's gotten dry, folks. I mean, the markets outside of the crypto markets are going to get crushed at the end of the year. If you don't see those chess pieces moving into place right now, the free money is getting cut off. The quantitative easing, the money printing is going away for a while. The bond yields are lowering. If you can't see the positioning right now, the talk about the debt, whenever we're talking about the deficit and the debt, that's, we're not heading to a good place, because when money's good, they don't talk about stuff like that. So, I don't think there's any way this bull run goes into 2022. But look, here's the thing. Here's a great thing about being wrong about that. If I am wrong about that, and I want you guys to see the head-to-head thoughts here. We have some people in the chat saying we're already deeply into the bear market, and then we have other people saying there will be no bear market, like in the chat right now. Will the bull run go to 2022? And some people are saying it's already over. So, you can't win them all, I guess. But the point here is I don't believe going into next year that we will be seeing. I don't think in a cycle going into next year. But if I'm wrong, we'll just continue making money. It won't be a big deal. We'll continue making money. But I do not think that I'm wrong on this.
Ruckus Among Us on Twitch. If the U.S. regulates or bans DeFi or DeFi protocols for Americans, what do you think will happen to the prospective token prices? I know DeFi will still be used in other countries and by VPN degens here, but just thoughts on if the U.S. were to take action.
What evidence do we have that the U.S. will be able to regulate DeFi?
None.
Because they said we're looking at DeFi. That's not a real thing. They're not going to be able to do that. I mean, you're not on decentralized protocols that are in other places of the world, so their servers are protected. There's no way the U.S. can really regulate those other than say, don't do it, right? Because there's no KYC. So without KYC on DeFi protocols, there's nothing to regulate, because who's going to get in trouble? Now, Uniswap has Uniswap Labs. They built themselves up in a different way. But look, you think they don't want to take out KuCoin tomorrow? KuCoin's not even decentralized. They just don't have a home office. They've got no office. No, they don't know who any of their employees are. There's nobody for them to go after. KuCoin would have been taken out 2 years ago if it had a different infrastructure. Or at least it would have been made to put in mandatory KYC. But it's not. So I don't buy any of this stuff. I have none of this scare. None of the scare tactics toward DeFi, hit me.
There you go. Since deflation and a recession is coming, is it possible to make money in crypto during a bear market, or do you just load up and make money once the next bull market hits?
Well, look, if you hold on to all your bags throughout the bear market, there's no way you're going to make money in crypto. If you just hold on to them, if you sell high, if you sell when we get to the top, or relatively close to the top, or if you've been taking profits now, then you can take that money and you can put it into USDC, and you can stake it on Celsius. You can do that at bitboycrypto.com/deals. We got this code. I think it's HODL50. You want to show this real quick? On bitboycrypto.com/deals, we have this Celsius deal right here you guys can sign up for. We're getting, some people are saying they're having problems with it. Other people are saying that it works fine. But at the end of the day, if you only take 10% of your money and put it in there to earn passive income and you keep the rest in crypto and crypto drops 85 to 90%, then no, you're not going to make money. So the only way you can really make money and grow your portfolio in US dollar amounts is to sell the top. There's really no other way to do it. You're going to have some outlier coins. Chainlink in the last bear market destroyed it. I think it still could do it again. So Chainlink is definitely a place to be looking at. But I think that when it comes to the bear market, you got to move your money around during this time, or either just be comfortable losing, 80% of your money in an unrealized loss, setting yourself up for the next bull market.
All right. And last question. Will Coinbase be nervous to relist XRP after the settlement based on their own investigation?
There's no investigation by the SEC on Coinbase. That was all a parlor trick is what that was. The SEC is not going after Coinbase. And if they do go after Coinbase, it will just be a dog and pony show to get across a point to somebody else. Coinbase and the SEC are basically best friends. They've been having meetings for, they have meetings for the last 6 months. So you got to listen to where your information is coming from. So, okay, right now we got 10,719 viewers. We got 1,832 likes. Get at least to 6,000 likes a day. If you guys can do us a favor, stop what you're doing, X out of the live chat, hit the like button, and then come back to the mobile chat. If you are watching on smart TV, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, more actions or more options, and then hit react, and then hit the like button. So they said my collar. What's wrong with my collar? My collar, is it jacked up? I don't think it's jacked up.
No, you're all right.
Okay.
All right. Ready to look at some charts?
Let's see. Yeah. That's fine. We have good charts. Let's go charts. All right. So looking at Bitcoin right now, not extremely sexy. This is the weekly chart. See the weekly chart? We're still right in the middle of the EMA ribbon, which is not too bad. If you go back, let's go back and look earlier on here. See if we can get us a comparison here. You can kind of look maybe at this little move back here in September. You can kind of see on the weekly chart, the last time we went up above and went back in and got right in the middle of the band and then shot back up, which is what I think we're going to see right now. We do have to get up much higher for this golden cross to come back into play, like a lot of people want to see. But let's go to the daily time frame. Let me get rid of all this and look here. Daily time frame. So for the daily time frame, we are now heavily underneath the EMA ribbon, which is certainly not great news. This is the first time since the May crash that you see right here. First time since the May crash that we are on a down momentum wave. But I want you guys to notice something, okay? This is what I've been telling you, okay? Watch the money flow here. What's really interesting is even with this downward momentum here, the money flow is increasing. These are the amount of money coming in on longs instead of shorts, basically the positive money in the market. This takes pressure off of the downwards momentum, which is why we haven't actually seen a gigantic dump. We haven't seen a gigantic dump. We've seen, look, the bottom of this correction was 20%. We've not hit a lower low. May, 50%. Okay, and we hit lower lows. So in my opinion, I think it's still very positive that we are in this money flow. This could present a really good buying opportunity, and we'll look at some of that here in just a second. But for Bitcoin right now, we are getting the bands getting really tight here, which is quite interesting. I mean, we have the one big candle, but outside of that, I mean, it's pretty much, sideways action. It is a little bit of a down channel. Oh, that's not what I want to do. It's a little bit of a down channel. I mean, those are terrible lines. I'm just drawing that roughly. But you guys know, usually in a descending channel like this, you get a bounce up. So I think we are going to. It was really discouraging, but look, I still believe all the numbers that we talked about. I still believe all the numbers. $100,000 Bitcoin, September, October, top of the market. None of that has changed for me. If we get to October 1st and we're still sitting at $44,000, then I may have to second guess myself and my information. But I do still believe we're going to see that. If you're looking at Ethereum, we're still kind of in the weekly, in that, that accumulation zone that we were in there for several weeks, about, 2 weeks, and we went up, we went back down into it. But on the daily, it's a little more pronounced. You guys can see on the daily, we're right back in that zone right now. It's been acting as strong support. Really, we haven't closed below the zone that we drew several weeks ago. And I think things are good for a bounce. I really, the move this morning was very interesting. That we had this massive run up and then massive run down. But I do think that speaks to the volatility. So here on the stock to flow deflection, we are once again, I don't know, that's 2 weeks in February. I don't know why it's showing 2 weeks in February. Here we go. Okay, even on the stock to flow deflection, we have been moving back up on that. But you guys can see we're still severely under, under where we should be. We should be sitting somewhere around $100,000 right now, and we are clearly not there. And also, the Newpol here. You guys can see here on the Newpol, we are still in the green zone right here. Nothing really that troubling or that alarming. Nomad Chad says thoughts on Avalanche. I talked about it a little bit earlier. I do think it is, a pretty good project. There's big money behind it, a lot of financial cartel behind it. So somebody says free the Newpol in the basement over there. It's pretty good. Why do I sound nervous? It's not fun to get up here and talk about Bitcoin when it dumped this morning. It's not fun. I don't like it. I like it when the price is going up. So I'm not nervous, but I mean, how many times can we come on here and say it's about to go up? So, but you know what it reminds me of? If you guys remember, for months, starting in May, I told you guys in the middle of July, we were going to see the bottom and we were going to move up. On the 20th of July, the last day of the middle of the month, we were at $29,000. Started its ascent. 3 days later, we were at $40,000. You cannot forget, and I know it feels strange during times like this when the price is going down to be so bullish. But the fact is, remember how fast it moved? It pumped $10,000 in 10 minutes. $10,000 in 10 minutes. Let's go back to January. This thing went from 27 to through February to $50,000, just like that. The price of Bitcoin can double. And I know what you're saying. You're saying to yourself, yeah, but right now, the market caps are like $800 billion. How is it going to double from here that quickly? People said the same thing in February when Tesla bought Bitcoin and doubled the price. So, well, how in the world is it going to go up from here? I mean, right now the market cap is sitting at, 500 billion. How can it double? And then it did. It did double. So, people always think that during these times, you forget how powerful the moves are until you see them. And I do think we are, positioning for one of these moves right here. So it's going to come soon. All right, let's move on here. MicroStrategy buys another $250 million worth of Bitcoin in hope of 100x price growth.
Michael Saylor ain't scared.
No, Michael Saylor's not scared right now. He bought $250 million right now. Okay. MicroStrategy buys another $250 million worth of Bitcoin in hope of 100x price growth. Software firm MicroStrategy has announced the acquisition of nearly $250 million worth of Bitcoin. Michael Saylor revealed his company now holds more than $5 billion of Bitcoin. I think he said it was $3 billion.
Well, I read an article that said $3.1 billion this morning.
It's weird.
Interesting.
Tesla's second, having bought $1.5 billion, but they sold off about a fifth of that. Mr. Saylor's previously outlined his twin corporate strategy of developing MicroStrategy software business while simultaneously acquiring and holding Bitcoin with XX cash. I'd be really interested to see what they're putting out for software right now. It don't feel like they're a software company, does it?
No.
Are we up on the chats there?
Yeah, I think sometimes they
it hasn't chat hasn't updated in like a minute.
Sometimes they freeze and then you'll see there you go.
There it is. Okay,
Yeah,
how about
good.
that? Falcons were trashed by Eagles. Yes, we were. I'm excited to get a new quarterback and a new owner
coach.
when I take it over.
Yeah.
We probably no. That's the thing about Arthur Blank. There's no new coach coming. Arthur Smith could do this for 5 years and he would still have a job. That's why he sucks. So, okay. As one of the most popular and outspoken advocates on Bitcoin and social media, Mr. Saylor has become known for his bullish price predictions and his refusal to sell any of the company's holdings, even when its value crashes. Bitcoin currently has a market cap of around $850 billion. However, Mr. Saylor believes it will flip Bitcoin that has an excess of $11 trillion cap. It's going to subsume. This is such a Michael Saylor word, isn't it? How many of you guys have, there's Pun Any Vamps. Pun Any, what was it again? Pun Any Vamper. What a great name.
He
Pun
turns
Any.
27 today.
Well, happy 27th birthday, Pun Any Vamper. Here's the interesting thing about Michael Saylor. He uses words like subsume. I want to know who has actually used subsume in a sentence in this chat. I really want to know.
Yeah, not me.
Bitcoin is going to subsume the entire gold market cap. Once it gets to 10 trillion, its volatility will be dramatically less as it marches towards $100 trillion. You're going to see the growth rates fall, volatility fall, and it's going to be stabilizing or a stabilizing influence on the entire financial system. MicroStrategy bought the latest Bitcoin between 1st of July and September 12th when the price of crypto is slightly higher than it is currently. He bought it at higher prices. Average price of $48,000, which we're, pretty close. So somebody said, tell us about the plaque you got at the Falcon Stadium. Is that your private room? Well, I'll pull that up on Instagram. Of course, this is our company Instagram here, BitBoy_crypto. You can also see this at Dad Jokes FTW. This is my personal account, but it's the same picture. So this is our plaque. This is our suite. So we have a 5-year contract on a suite at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And that they just put our sign up. So it was pretty fun going yesterday to a real Falcons game. You guys see pictures of my kids playing ball and us, losing games right there.
Well, that's what I was going to say when they were saying you sounded nervous. It's probably just your voice is a little tired from all the yelling and screaming this week.
A lot of yelling this week. And I was yelling at the Falcons game for sure. So, MicroStrategy purchase, we already talked about this. Their overall average price is $27 million or $27,000 for Bitcoin. This is what I want to show you guys, which is the Fear and Greed Index. We talk about this a good bit.
Yeah.
Right now it's at 44. You had something you wanted to say?
Just real quick, that kind of plays into this with MicroStrategy buy. Like talking about good times to buy is usually when people are fearful. You'll see MicroStrategy usually pulls the trigger when this indicator is low.
That's a good point. That's a good point. They're saying it looked like you've been hitting arm day.
Arm day?
Arm day? Yeah. I mean, they're all right.
I guess I have. I mean,
leg day was tough the other day, wasn't it? My legs are still sore.
Yeah.
I felt very weak.
Yeah, I haven't been sore from a leg day in a long time.
You know what I thought about?
What?
Do you know the thing we did different?
Those dive bomb things?
We didn't stretch. We didn't stretch before we squatted.
Yeah.
I think that was why we felt a little more weak than normal. So anyways, the Fear and Greed Index here, it's at a 44. It's low.
Yesterday was 32.
Yesterday was a 32, so unbelievably low. Last week, it was at extreme greed, so amazing how fast that moves. But this is the Fear and Greed Index over time. Now, notice, every time, let me screenshot this so I can color on it.
Yeah, it'd be fun if we knew all the MicroStrategy buys, we could put them on the chart based on the date.
We could. Somebody said that the Eagles subsumed the Falcons. That was pretty funny. I meant to point that out. That was a great comment.
Wow.
So here we are. Notice, every time, this is 30 right here. This line is 30. Now I can't draw a straight line. Well, it made a straight line for me. How about that? So this is 30. every time we get in this zone or under, you see big pops up. And if you look at this thing, really and truly, I mean, it very rarely, moves off of 30 exactly. I'm looking here, like here it's pretty close. So I don't know. Maybe we do have some more negativity. Maybe tomorrow. We have invited Benjamin Cowan on Around the Blockchain. He said he would not come on because we might talk about Dogecoin or something he doesn't want to talk about. So we've invited literally every large YouTuber on Around the Blockchain. So it's up to them to come on or not. So I've had Benjamin on the show before for one-on-one interviews, but he says that if he doesn't want to talk about it, he doesn't want to talk about it. So is what it is. Okay. So when we're looking at this, it looks like we could be hitting a spot here. But looking at it, like, do you get the feeling, TJ, it's going to dip a little bit more? Here's a spot. Here's a spot where it bounced exactly off, right here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a case I think we talked about a little bit last week with, Brian was talking about when we got that quick flash crash down to 42, that we could maybe retest the 42 range on a day like today, maybe flash back down there for a minute before we keep marching back up. But I feel like, we're hitting that turning point where, because I think today it will go back down, like it's showing, what was it, 42? It should go back down
today, unless we get a big pump before the end of the day.
It'll be back in the 30s, and anytime we spend a couple days in that 30s, mid 30s, it tends to be a really good indicator for a good time to buy. So assuming we are still moving up towards the end of the market, the top out towards the end of the year, like we were talking about for 100K Bitcoin, we should see that in the next week or so, very soon. So no, I mean, there might be slight movement down where we like another day or two where we hang out down here and let the sentiment really settle in. But I think it's going to change pretty quick and move really fast when we do start moving back up.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about where we're at in this market right now?
Just personally, emotionally, I feel good in the sense that we've been here before. I felt these feelings before. Now the feelings
around July 20th.
Yeah, the feelings specifically, they're not great. They're the feelings of like, I hope we're right. I hope all this research pays off. But every time we start to feel that way and question anything, it almost always means the bottom is in. And so now that I've had that happen to me 3 or 4 times now, anytime I start to get those feelings again, it actually is bullish for me instead of feeling bearish.
But were we talking about that last week too?
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel great today, man. I tell you, it doesn't feel great, but I'm still confident in here's the frustrating thing for me as a person that comes on here and talks about crypto every day. I still believe I know where it's going, but when we have these days like today that it looks dramatically like it's not going to go there, that it's going the opposite direction, it's hard to come on and give everybody hopium, because how many times can you come on and say it's going up when it seems to be dropping or stagnant? Somebody says dropping right now. Is it dropping right now? Nah, it's at 44.2. No big deal. Who is it? You know what? People were mentioning the blockchain backer guy. I don't even know this guy.
Blockchain backer?
Yeah, let's get DZ to ask him to come on the show.
Yeah.
Is he an XRP guy?
I'm not sure, but I have heard multiple people recommend him as well.
Yeah. So we actually have not reached out to him, I don't think. Everybody, all the major ones we've done. He's got 200,000 subscribers. Look at this guy. Does he show his face on the videos? We don't do people that don't show their faces. So that could be a deal breaker there. We'll see. So there's some people that we can't have on because it's a face show.
Yeah.
So if you're just going to put an avatar, you're not going to be able to come on. So we'll see if he shows his face or not, if he's doxxed or whatever. SEC Girl says, just wanted to say at least I have the dogs. That's right. Yeah, at least I have the dogs up until they blow it at the end. Like I know they'll probably do it too.
They'll build you up just to break you down.
Yeah, man. I tell you what. Alabama looks good too, though. So, all right, let's move on. Let's talk about Ethereum. Now, if you're newer to crypto, you want to know about Ethereum, you want to know about Bitcoin, you want to know about blockchain technology, you guys can head on over to bitlabacademy.com. You guys can sign up for our courses here. You also get access to our Discord. It's $29 a month. Not too expensive. We're constantly adding new content. We got a lot of exciting stuff that we're going to be adding here soon. So, they said Crypto Face has no face. Well, interesting update on that. Let's see. Did he put it on his channel?
But he still shows his head and his, he covers his mouth with a mask.
Yeah, that's fine. I just need a person in the window.
Yeah. It's a talking head show, so we need talking heads.
Yeah, I meant to talk about this today, though. Did he put this on here yet? No, I'll have to get the link from him. Remind me to get the link from him. He actually, face reveal. We're going to be able to show you a Crypto Face reveal by the end of this week. By tomorrow. We got he's doing a reality show about sports gambling.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty fun.
It does.
Shut up, Eric. EAGLES. Well, the Eagles fans are annoying. I got to tell you that. No, Eric, you seem like a great guy. Eric seems like a great guy. All the people in the chat, you guys seem like a great guy. The Eagles fans have a reputation. So I remember I watched a guy punch a guy in the an Eagles fan punch a Panthers guy in the face at the at a Panthers game.
Wow.
I saw it on TikTok or TV. I wasn't actually there. It made it sound like I was there. But yeah, they're throwing bottles at ladies and throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. That's a stadium that's very interesting to go to as an opposing fan. Haven't done it yet, but I will do it. Maybe I'll wear a mask. Okay. Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary slams Ethereum speed, touts $1 trillion opportunity in Bitcoin, and calls for U.S. regulation in a new interview. Here are the best 8 quotes. Number 1, I find Ethereum as a user, it's too slow. And so there's going to be other chains that are going to emerge. I mean, so far I have not seen a lie. I don't want to get involved in crypto if the regulator says it's not okay. I can't afford to be offside. I cannot afford to be non-compliant. Now, kind of understand that as a guy who is, a really big, investor that's, front facing. I can get behind that. But this idea that like, we're just going to do whatever, like, it's almost like regulators here, just take me away. Tell me what to do. We got to push back against some of that. Some people aren't afraid to, call the SEC on the channel. So, number 3, the regulators have pushed back on the Lend product for Coinbase, and that is a slowdown. That's on the SEC's threat to sue the crypto exchange that releases its product offering that would pay stablecoin owners 4%. When the 10-year treasury note is making you less than inflation, you start to look to alternatives, and that's why stablecoins are becoming interesting. Number 5, we want the regulator to actually make some decisions about crypto because none of us are in financial services want to actually be cowboys about this. I understand that sentiment. I've said for years, like we really need that clarity and regulation. If the regulator finally allowed financial services companies to call it an asset, put it into an ETF in the U.S., like they have in Canada and other countries, I'd figure there'd be another $1 trillion worth of buying into Bitcoin, and we don't have that yet, but that's the opportunity. Let me tell you what in that quote. That quote is very, very interesting because I was talking to TJ this morning. I said, what in the world is going to send this thing up? What is the thing? Well, if that Grayscale ETF were to get approved in the next 2 weeks or a month, which, look, I always said is impossible. But if it were, Kevin O'Leary just told you the sauce right here, that would add $1 trillion to Bitcoin almost immediately. There'd be another $1 trillion worth of buying into Bitcoin. If you added a $1 trillion cap to where we're at now at 829 billion, that's almost enough to get you there. I mean, that would get you up to $90,000 or more, actually. That would get you up to about $92,000, $93,000, I believe. So it could be the hopium that we need. And he told you right there, it seems like it could be possible. All the institutions are coming to the conference to discuss this very topic, when and how the regulator will get on side, and when will cryptos be considered an institutional asset class. We don't know when, but it's definitely going to come. It's not going away. Said I'm bullish on crypto, but also DeFi. It's not just about Bitcoin or Ethereum anymore. I mean, I think that when it comes to regulation here, I don't agree with all his viewpoints, but definitely on Ethereum, it is a little bit too slow. There's no question about that, but it's supposed to be fixed, maybe in December, they say. Is Ethereum's DeFi boom setting itself up for DeFi bust? Ethereum isn't all about DeFi, but it's darn close to it. Last month, Ethereum founder Vitalik warned that DeFi may be becoming too much of a gambler's den with derivative on top of derivative, trying to capture yield and not much else. He said Ethereum has to expand beyond just trading tokens and helping to create other tokens. If you just stake DeFi and push it into infinity, you're just going to get tokens that you profit from yield farming and prediction markets on top of yield tokens. That's good up to layer 2. But once you start getting up to layer 6, you're setting yourself up for a collapse and potentially getting a lot of regulators angry. Basically what he's saying is, DeFi could potentially become a Ponzi scheme. It's not now. It's not meant to be. But when you have tokens that's only values are based on staking and yield farming, then what's really the value of the token? Mm-hmm. So pretty interesting stuff. A lot of positive Saints fans in the comment. I wish you guys would go away. But yeah, I got to admit, I was very impressed with the Saints yesterday, which kills me inside to say. But you know what? I find I don't hate them as much with Jameis Winston than Drew Brees. Drew Brees, I hated him so much. So glad to see him commentating Purdue games. So it's a good place to push him to. Cardano launches smart contracts after a successful hard fork. Cardano has completed its Alonzo hard fork to introduce Plutus-powered smart contract scripts. On Monday, IOHK tweeted that the upgrade had been completed successfully at Epoch 290, facilitating the creation and execution of smart contracts on the public blockchain for the first time. Despite celebrating the milestone, Cardano notes that it is still in the early days for the project, asserting that now is when the mission truly begins. In a blog post, while Cardano pledged to rival Ethereum's dominance in hosting decentralized finance and Web3 applications, the project has garnered criticism for failing to deliver smart contract functionality until now, despite launching in September of 2017. Let's see. Here's that guy that loves this Anthony Wasano guy. He's like a professional Cardano troll, is what he is. I don't even like to give him any credence on the channel. Never heard of this guy until these smart contracts came up. Now he's everywhere. So, the Ghostbusters thing was dumb. What's the Ghostbusters thing?
I don't know.
Can Drew Brees' new hair get a shout out? Does he have new hair?
Isn't he just buzzed?
Let's see. Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Looks like he's got what is that? Hair growth from it? He must be using Brian Urlacher's guy. Have you ever seen Brian Urlacher's hair?
Mm-mm.
I knew you hadn't seen this. Look at this guy. This, as a player, this is retired. Paul Dressler says greetings and respect from BitSquad, Oklahoma City. Well, thank you, OKC. Charles Hoskinson wins $50,000 on Alonzo bet. Urges Polymarket to donate win to kids' cancer charity. So, who is this?
I know.
Does that look like Charles?
Maybe he's got.
Those are younger days, have to be, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, if you didn't know, basically the idea was, Cardano wasn't going to launch on time. And, I actually took the over. I didn't think they would either. But when they announced the day, they stuck to it, which is great. But what I would say is this. I don't really want to talk about this story. I mean, that's great. They're Poly Markets, donate it. It's Poly Network was the one that got hacked, I think, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's what I would say is that Cardano price didn't do anything over this weekend. It started to rise on Saturday, right? And a lot of people thought it was going to pump in the smart contract phase, including myself. But here is the thing, okay? What changed for Cardano in the last 4 months? What was it that truly changed? It became one of the top institutional targets. What this meant is institutional money was flowing into Cardano. These people are just nothing but pure manipulators. Institutional money was flowing into Cardano over the last several months, which gave them more control over it. It gave them the ability to be able to stifle a price increase that should have came along with the smart contracts. Now, Bitcoin certainly did not help its cause here. I mean, Bitcoin went down, and so that obviously hurt Cardano as well. But there is a reason. There is a reason why the price did not get a big pump, and it was just purely trying to hold it back. Now, is that going to be, is that going to be down the road? Is that going to play into how high the price can get? We don't really know that yet. So, okay. All right, here we go. It's time to put an end to the SEC's clarity charade over crypto.
Apparently, that Ghostbusters comment was just that Charles had a Ghostbusters shirt on during the live stream.
He's a FUDbuster.
Yeah, exactly.
BitBoy price predictions versus BitBoy NFL predictions. Yeah. Well, if you were to ask me right now who the Super Bowl would be, I'm probably going with Chiefs. Oh, God, I would never say the Saints. Chiefs versus Rams. That's what I go with. I go with Chiefs versus Rams. That'd be my Super Bowl prediction for the year. Just because I can't say the Saints. Saints look good. Saints look like they may be the best team, though, which makes me want to jump off a bridge. They have some of those there. It's time to put an end to the SEC's clarity charade over crypto. Why does it keep jumping here? There we go. SEC promised clarity on crypto, but it remains elusive after years of talking. Well, I can tell you why before we get into this. I can tell you exactly why there's no clarity, because they can't even agree who's in charge of it. People saying Dallas, Bucks. I mean, both of those, Dallas and Bucks, could both go. So, look at Gabe King in the chat, that mother chucker. Go 6U Blue Jays. God. So angry. We were winning 5-1 in that game. We lost 6-5. It was rough. We're going to make a lineup adjustment. Yeah, he's the coach of the team that beat us on Saturday.
That's pretty heartless.
Oh, the man has no heart.
Coming into the chat.
Coming into my chat?
On Monday?
Yeah. Well, you want me showing up to your job, Gabe? You show up to your job, and, well, I couldn't do it today. The next time we win. We're 0-2. I got to admit it, 6U Yankees. But we've lost each game by 1 run, and we really should have won each game. So we got a lineup adjustment we're going to make. And that's going to put us over the top. So for the past 5 years, investors and project developers in the field of blockchain innovation, where $2 trillion have been exposed as an increasingly insane charade that the U.S. SEC describes as regulatory clarity. Years of SEC speeches, public statements, minutes of meetings, correspondence, and firsthand reports from market participants provide anything but clarity for the rules for digital assets or DLT projects. In its quest for clarity, Coinbase took a hit. Now, this story's fake. I hate talking about this. I feel stupid even reporting this as a real story. What is that? What is that bet over there he's trying to make with me? He says they lose, I send you a Falcons jersey.
If KC wins the Super Bowl, we do a meetup in KC.
Fair. Well, let's just commit to whatever team wins the Super Bowl. We'll do a meetup there. Unless it's Cleveland. No offense, Cleveland. I'm just kidding. We might do one there.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do it.
Okay. Regulatory darlings. While the SEC's pounding Coinbase and Ripple, it's giving Ethereum a pass. Follow the money. Well, why is it giving Ripple a pass or Ethereum a pass? Because they understand that they're not able to control it the way they control other things. They've already missed it, which is why they're getting I forgot my train of thought there. I saw somebody say something about my 6U Yankees, and I lost it. Let's see. We're talking about Ethereum. I was talking about Ethereum. Why they weren't able to control it is the point here. They weren't able to control it. That's why, here we go. That's why they're pouring money into Cardano and Solana right now, the institutions. They want to control those in the future. They missed Ethereum. They've not been able to control Ethereum, and that kills them inside. So, been in New Orleans. God, if we did a New Orleans meetup, that would be tough for me. I love New Orleans as a city, though. I've been there several times. Been to the Falcons game there. Been to some other stuff. Saying BitBoy hearing aids. Do I need to move it away? People are saying no. Too loud.
No, you're fine.
Do I do any gaming? No, I do not do a lot of gaming. Play some MLB The Show. Play a little Madden. Play a little NBA 2K and Mortal Kombat. That's pretty much it. Let's see. SEC versus Ripple case takes another turn, making investors bullish on XRP. This was from 2 days ago. Japanese financial services giant SBI Holdings is launching a crypto asset fund which invests in XRP. Spike in address activity noted on September 10th rescues the altcoins price from plunging further. XRP Army prepares to represent their interest in securities in the SEC lawsuit. Both Ripple and SEC admit that Ripple owes no fiduciary duty to XRP holders in the ongoing case. Therefore, the XRP army is ready to represent its own interests in the case. Investors bullish on XRP as armies of holders step up to represent their own interest. As per the latest developments in SEC's litigation versus Ripple, XRP holders move to represent their interests. This implies that the community of XRP supporters has stepped up to shield the altcoin from negative impact on its price. Ripple Holdings remain XRP's largest public holder, and litigation of the payments on the payments giant has consistently led to a negative impact on native asset XRP price since December of 2020. They say, John Deaton says it's now time for XRP holders to take action. Let's see. Does he give an actionable step here? He doesn't. We also do have another Ripple or XRP listing on an exchange in Japan. I don't have that one right in front of me, but I do believe that that's going to happen. Have some real chicken wings in Buffalo. I actually believe I am going to the Buffalo Falcons game. That's a New Year's trip. I think we're going to go to that. So it'll be freezing cold. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Always wanted to go to Buffalo. Well, I've been to Buffalo through it once. I did stop at the Anchor Bar. So a little disappointed. Got to admit it. Look, I love buffalo wings. They're my favorite thing to eat, but I guess I built it up to be too good. They were good. They were good. Don't get me wrong. They're good wings, but Rick's Hot Wings down here has got some pretty good ones too. As leading cryptos dip lower in value, Elrond, Osmosis, Tron, Cosmos token values climb. While dominant coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum have slid 8 to 12% during the last week, a number of other digital assets have seen double-digit weekly gains and even double-digit percentage spikes in the last 24 hours. Price of Bitcoin's faltered 8% during the last 7 days, and Ethereum has dropped by 12%, Cardano shed 4%, and BNB lost more than 16%. Top 10 crypto asset XRP saw around 11.6%, shaved off its market cap, and Dogecoin slid 18.2%. The only two assets in the top 10 that were up, Solana up 26%, and Polkadot up 5.5%. Solana and Polkadot are part of a group of DeFi tokens, and Ethereum competitors have been moving up the ladder in value. On Sunday, Elrond spiked 27.5%, is up 70% for the week. I guess that's gone because it wasn't in the top. There it is, 46.58%. I guess it was number two. Wasn't there a different number one up there a minute ago?
I think you were looking 24-hour, not week.
Well, I did both. Coin market cap is acting a little wonky today. So, but Algorand, Elrond, Harmony, Cosmos, and H-Bar. Yeah, I do remember saying all those. I thought there was one other one that was up in the mix, but those are your biggest pumpers of the week here. Another yawn here. So Mondays are tough because I got to be here at 7 a.m. That's why I'm a little tired on Mondays, I think. Let's see, where were we? SEC, here we are. Avalanche and Polkadot. So here's another story about some altcoin season leaders. We got Avalanche and Polkadot surge despite low global trading volumes. Now, I said to watch out for Avalanche as Andreessen Horowitz, a crypto fund, their crypto fund A16Z, I believe, which is where Brian Quinten's from the CFTC went, is a crypto advisor. The way these people move from regulatory bodies to advising crypto companies and projects and funds, it feels so dirty to me.
Yeah, it is dirty. It's crazy.
I mean, just think about this. The people defending Ripple right now in their lawsuit worked at the SEC during the time in question.
Yeah, that says it all right there.
It really does. But it's Sunday today, which means crypto trading is keeping the Sabbath like everywhere else. But that hasn't stopped altcoins Avalanche and Polkadot from hurtling up. Hurtling? Hurtling up. That might be the correct usage there. I would have just said hurling, right?
Hurdle.
Hurdle with a D. No,
yeah.
Hurdle with a T is a word. From hurtling up the crypto market cap leaderboard just yesterday, Avalanche was the 20th biggest crypto. Today it's up 6 places to 14th. It's at a new all-time high of 61.44. Developer Ava Labs touts Avalanche, which went live in September of last year, is blazingly fast, low cost, and eco-friendly. Like Ethereum, Avalanche is a smart contracts platform, which means that thanks to its Executing code, developers can launch a plethora of decentralized exchanges and non-custodial lending apps on the blockchain. Claims it can handle 45 TPS. Bitcoin, Ethereum, obviously much lower than that. Avalanche is also greener than Bitcoin, which is weird because most avalanches are white. Polkadot also jumped from 10th to 9th place. I mean, look, Polkadot is really shaping up like it could have a big run here.
Yeah, I feel like it looks like it's primed to pop because it had that big correction and then kind of hung out after everything else kind of mostly recovered. But it's shaping up good on the Bitcoin chart, and against BTC and against the dollar. It's looking good. I saw a lot of people talking about it over the weekend.
Well, God, this yawn. I gotta get rid of this yawn. I don't know where it's from. The parachain auction's coming up. Really going to be the blowing up of that ecosystem. So I definitely think it's very interesting to see if it can have a similar run to Solana. Solana hasn't necessarily had anything major. They've had the NFT launch.
Right.
That's about it. But this could really be fundamental driven, just like Cardano, but just like Cardano smart contracts. I mean, it didn't really move. Now I told you guys why, the institutional money keeping it down, but it is what it is. So here we go. DeFi chain to offer tokenized versions of Apple and Tesla. And this is something we've talked a lot about on this channel. We've talked a lot about these tokenized stocks and the derivatives market, why they're necessary. I talked about them, I think, this morning, maybe on Jeb's channel. I talked about that, I believe. But the NASDAQ Stock Exchange will be among the companies delivering price feeds to a service offering tokenized stocks. NASDAQ's feed, along with those of FinHub, will power services on DeFi chain and native decentralized finance blockchain for the Bitcoin network devoted to monetary applications and services, according to a statement from the Blockchains Community Group. DeFi chain will offer tokenized stocks corresponding to the underlying price of listed companies such as Apple and Tesla, Amazon, and GameStop. Statement said the tokenized stocks will be collateralized by crypto, which means traders won't have to go through an intermediary such as a broker. Tokenized stocks can be purchased in fractions in the form of decentralized loans. System will power the stock trading mechanics on DeFi chain in a trustless manner and will use DeFi chain's native digital currency, DFI, as well as Bitcoin USD, among other cryptos. This will open the door to many people who are frustrated by traditional markets, said Julian Hosp. Who is this guy? That name is very familiar. He's behind something else. He wrote a book. Julian Hosp, founder of Cake DeFi. Check out his. Well, I don't want to check that out. I don't know. Have you heard his name before? Definitely heard his name before.
Julian Haas.
Hosp, HOSP.
It does sound familiar, but it might just be from Cake.
That's not Pancake. That's Cake DeFi. I know I've seen this guy before. I don't know. I don't know where from. I'm trying to look, see if it can if I can have my memory jogged, but I can't see it right now. Anyways, okay, I'll move on here. My keyboard battery is low. Or I lose my keyboard. That would be dramatically bad. I don't want to lose my keyboard. Okay. All right. Somebody else said he's German. He's Austrian. Oh, I think I know who this guy is.
Is it?
I think I know who this guy is. Okay. Julian Hosp. 10X. His critics see him as a scammer. He flew high with 10X and collected around $80 million.
Well,
so 10X was a project that was supposed to be like crypto.com. And this is where it's from. And they were going to launch a Visa debit card in Europe. But then basically they got it ready to roll out. And then the European regulators came and said, nope, you're not going to do that. And they redid it again. I think they raised more money. And then they got it ready to roll out again. And they said no. And they killed the project. That's where it's from. Were you going to say something?
No.
Okay. Well, great. So I don't know if it's, how much, I don't know, like here you find this article, it says he's a scammer. I don't know if he's a scammer or, what the situation is, but very interesting. Interesting we're covering this project here like this. DeFi chain it's called. Let's see. DeFi chain, is it out? Isn't that what it said it was? DeFi chain?
Mm-hmm.
DeFi. And I was ranked 214, which tells you it's sketchy. most of the projects like right in the top 200 to 250, like from that range. Most of them are very sketchy. Not all of them, but most of them are. Basically, they can't fit the criteria. They can't fit the criteria to make it in that top 200. So, anyways, the point here is they're doing tokenized stocks. I mean, anybody can get this feed from NASDAQ, I think. I don't know if this is that significant of a story. But these tokenized stocks are something that is super, super interesting because they are going to change the way that a lot of people trade. People around the world, they're not able to trade American stocks, especially in China, India, some of these places. So, what's that? That person's asked that question a lot of times. What does he say?
This one here?
Yep.
Question for Ben. Should we be taking more profits now if we're up on our assets or hold off for a few more weeks?
Well, that's a personal question. It's up to you how much you feel like you're up and what you're satisfied with. I believe we're going to see much higher numbers, but I'm not always correct. Only 99.9999% of the time. So this could be that 0.001%. Possible. I don't think so. It's unlikely. But I definitely think that taking profits is never a bad thing. So okay, let's move on here. Now, if you guys didn't know, speaking of DeFi, we do have our own merch store here on bitboycrypto.com. If you go to bitboycrypto.com, go to bitboycrypto.com. What did I type that? Did put an R in. There we go. bitboycrypto.com, click merch. It will take you to our merch page here. You guys can see we got a ton of great merch. We're always adding new stuff. We got around the blockchain shirts. We got backpacks. We got some stuff for our NFTs. We got some stickers. We got some hats. These are the original hats the BitBoy Crypto wore. So, how does Ben rank himself among other YouTubers in terms of market knowledge? Number one by a long shot, obviously. Why would you be doing this if you think you're not the best? I'm kind of kidding, but I'm also kind of tongue-in-cheek serious. Okay, all right, let's move on here. There's a lot of people out there that are much more knowledgeable about different subjects than I am. I think when it comes to fundamental news and understanding the dynamics of the way that stories fit into what happens in the world of crypto, I do think we're probably the best channel. That's why we're one of the top channels out there. Majority of crypto exchanges to shut down this month, insiders say. Failure to meet South Korean regulators' new requirements expected to wipe out tens of crypto exchange operators. Ooh. Tens of crypto exchange operators.
Yeah, the number I've heard unofficially is like 60.
60.
So 6 tens.
6 tens. That's a lot. 6'10", that's a tall guy.
Yeah.
That's a super tall American male.
Almost as tall as Crow.
Almost, but not quite. The deadline for South Korean crypto exchanges to meet new compliance requirements is looming fast, while our operators are expected to submit requests for an official license with the FSC no later than September 24th. They said it's close to 40 of their 60 crypto operators will have to shut down. Let's see. Where does it say? These 4 exchanges. Okay, it says here. Yet South Korea's banks have, for the most part, refused to engage in any risk assessment process for applicant exchanges, except for the country's top 4 trading platforms. These 4 exchanges, Upbit, BitHum, Corebit, and Coin1, already, and this is important, guys, already account for 90% of South Korea's total traded volume. Experts have in recent months made the case that FSC's new framework is poised to further cement the country's crypto space as a monopolized market. So this definitely isn't, something that's going to shut down crypto in Korea. I mean, they're just basically monopolizing it for the top exchanges, which isn't good, but it is what it is. Let's talk about this. Walmart says crypto payments announcement is fake. Litecoin tumbles after spike. Very sad. Yeah, what's that?
I was going to say it had a ridiculous spike this morning on the news and then immediately dumped on the news that it was fake news. So,
absolutely. It came out. It was big news. The official Litecoin Twitter account came out and said this is not real. So this is not real here, guys. The announcement was fake. Crypto Litecoin gave up a 20% gain and tumbled back to earth following a fake press release sent out by Global Newswire that referenced a partnership with Walmart. Walmart spokesman Randy Hargrove confirmed this press release is not authentic. He also said the retailer has been in touch with the Newswire company to investigate how the false press release got posted. Litecoin last traded down 2%. Number of media organizations, including CNBC, sent headlines on the announcement. Shares of Walmart had little movement on it. Announcement referenced a non-working website and the email of one of the contacts listed, raising suspicions. The news release said that Walmart, the biggest retailer in the U.S., would accept crypto for payments from shoppers utilizing Litecoin. The release was never listed on Walmart's official corporate website and has been removed from the global newswire exchange. So there you go.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't want to cover this I don't want to cover this Elon Musk tweet story. I'm so tired of that. And I think it gives kind of like that DeFi chain story. I think it gives projects that we probably don't want to be promoting on this channel free airtime.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's free or not. I'm not going to promote this crap on my channel. So,
well, then they were asking this in the Twitch chat. What is your sign, your zodiac sign? Do you know?
Do I know?
Well,
What adult doesn't know their zodiac
some people
sign?
aren't into it. I mean, I guess.
Well, I'm not into it.
But you know your own.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's kind of like me.
Hi, my name's Ben, and I'm a Scorpio.
Scorpio. Yeah, there were some guesses of that.
Yeah, I think that means I'm sexy. I think
he's a Scorpio. I'm an Aquarius. So do what
you're
you
Aquarius.
Want. Do what you want with that.
Do what you want with it.
Yep.
Do you ever watch Marin stuff?
No.
On TikTok.
I mean,
Altman.
If it comes up, yeah.
Have you seen this moon cycle? Like the moon, because I was watching Marin and Marin was talking about as Maren Altman. I can't remember what her name is on TikTok. I like her, I'm a big fan of her. I think she does like some pretty cool stuff, very unique stuff that she does. And she said that, and I've seen Tom Crown talk about this as well, that there's a cycle between the full moons. It's like if you buy at the full moon and sell all the way through the cycle, you'll make money each time. And it's like, it's very obvious that there's definitely, I don't know if there's a literal connection, but there's at least, a connection between when these moons are happening.
Well, I think there's a new full moon in like 7 days or something.
Yes, exactly. So she said last week that from the 6th to the 20th, it would be bearish. And I think that pretty much is exactly what it was. Wasn't that dump on the 7th? Maybe it was the 7th through the 20th. Let me look. What day was that dump? The 7th.
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
She said that 2 days before.
Wow.
So according to this, I mean, we'd still have another week of bearish activity, which, God, I can't take a week of bearish activity at this point. Can you take a week of bearish activity?
I could, but I wouldn't enjoy it. I'm ready for bullish. Let's go straight to the moon.
Let's go straight to the moon. Let's create our own moon cycle.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do a moon dance.
Oh boy.
I can't make a circle. I don't know what the moon dance is. I got people doing moon dances back here. I tried to do it. All right, guys, that's all I got. Look, Bitcoin ain't doing great today. Let's see if it can turn around by the end of the day. Maybe we'll be a little more bullish this afternoon. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.